There is so much happening right now with gender inclusive fragrances, and we see so many of these brands that are really utilizing innovative, fun ideas to really bring this whole category to life. And the fragrance industry is really paying attention. So my first question for you as a perfumer is, how does this really kind of play out for you, this whole consumer shift?
It's true that we receive more and more brief for universal fragrances. It's undeniable. Established brands understand the importance of the movement and they want to be part of the discussion. But we see also the birth of a lot of new brands which are catering exclusively for gender inclusive fragrances, and that's something which is very new.
So of course it must be a very different frame of mind for you when you develop a gender neutral fragrance versus a prestige or consumer goods or anything of that nature. How would you kind of characterize that difference?
I think it's very liberating and it's fun because in fact you get to break the rules, which doesn't happen always. I think that our customers are pushing us to really break out of our habits about the way we create fragrances. There is maybe a less polish, a less finished feel to the fragrance, but it's not on purpose because they are looking really to be different, to stand out. And I think it's super interesting as a perfume.
Yeah, totally. And so how would you kind of characterize the olfactive profiles that you are creating that resonate within this gender neutral space?
I think I would divide it in two categories, wellness on one side and what I call bold. Wellness, we are looking for this clean, fresh scents, but also with a warm and cocooning, reassuring dimension. I think that this fresh scent that we feel, fresh skin that we feel when we get out of the shower, I think everybody is always interested in capturing it. I think it's universal. But also there's a dimension that comes with wellness, where it's also well-being. It's not only your body, it's also your soul. And I think there is a really a nice combination with warm notes that would bring this kind of clean skin feel, which I think is universal, and we are always trying in those kind of fragrances to achieve.
And that second skin scent, I think that is a must-have for any fragrance wardrobe for sure. So now how about the bold side? I'm intrigued.
I think bold is the most interesting, as a perfumer, is the most interesting one because you break all the rules. You're free. You push the envelope. It's irreverent. You're really going for it. It's fragrances which are really short, linear, where you get to try to find, the best impact for the ingredient to choose, and that's where really the natural ingredients, ingredient choice play an extremely important role because that's where you're going to get it or not.
Yes, indeed. And so speaking of ingredients, so what are some of the Cosmo materials that you are the most excited about utilizing in these creations?
All of them.
No, you have to pick one.
Okay, if I had to pick one, I think if I try to create a bold fragrance, I would choose our Timor from Nepal. I think it's a very interesting, unusual spicy note. It brings those fresh grapefruity notes along with this woody spiciness, but also it presents a very interesting passion fruit note, which is unusual for a natural product, and that really gives you a signature which is unique. And I think those kind of bold fragrances really want to make statement, and that's what you can achieve using a Timor.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. And so now we're just going to switch gears just for a moment, put you on the spot. So I know that it's kind of really hard to predict, but where do you kind of see gender neutral fragrances going in the future to the best of your ability?
It's difficult to say, but I think, the movement is not only a fragrance movement, it's just not a trend. I think that something is deeply rooted in the society. So that's, in one form or another, it's going to stay. But what I see really, it's a shift in people's relationship with fragrance. I think it's just not only having a fragrance that smells good, which is nice, which is aesthetically pleasing, but I think people want more. I think there is a multi-level connection with the fragrance. It could be also the emotion, which is always most important part, I think personally, but also transparency, how the fragrance is created, who's behind, who are the people who are working in producing the raw material, which are part of the formula. And I think that's one change which I think is very interesting and is going to stay.
Yes. And I feel like Cosmo's philosophy fits perfectly into this new consumer's mantra. So do you feel like this is something that could resonate with the gender neutral consumer either now or in the future?
Yes, I think it resonates with them, but also I think with everyone. I think the fragrance is not anymore just something pretty and accessories that you wear, but it's much more. There is a much deeper level of implication of the consumer with the fragrance, and it involves people and us, of course.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so beautiful.
Exactly.
I think so. Thanks, Arnaud.